For the astronaut to excel, their body and their mind must both be in top condition. But what exactly does it take to be deemed mentally fit to fly? Just as spaceflight can take a toll on the human body, it can also prove to be emotionally draining. The high demands of the job and the reality of being isolated for long periods of time are hard to escape, even for the most stoic of us. If you are dogged by issues such as disillusionment or depression, then it's only a matter of time that you mismanage a task and aggrieve others. Crew members may even be burdened by taking on your duties. Now, that doesn't seem very fair, does it? So how do you go about combating negative feelings? There was once a commonly held philosophy that expressing your hardships miraculously relieves them. Wide-eyed psychologists naively claimed that talking openly would heal patients rather than lead to feelings of inadequacy. To everyone's detriment, this form of therapy only accelerated a generational malaise of haunting frustrations, anxiety, and depression. Luckily today, we are very much aware of these myths. Instead of communicating with and encumbering others, consider instead how you approach emotions inwardly. By tracking and measuring your behaviors, you can control how you respond to and cope with outside pressures. Because while most stimuli are environmental, how we overcome them is entirely within our power. It really is that straightforward. First, you must identify and challenge unhelpful thoughts, then modify your thinking patterns, and within time, you will improve the way you feel. No obstacle, terrestrial or cosmic, can then ever impede you. Remember, an astronaut is not complete without being in the highest mental state.
How old were you when he killed himself?
Like 5 or 6. So obviously I barely remember him.
But your mum raised you up at least.
What do you mean, at least? Like, yeah, I'm grateful I wasn't a feral child. Thank you, Jesus.
Can I say something, or will you lot take the piss out of me for speaking my mind?
Go on, say it. How bad can it be?
Alright, basically, mental health and suicide are too mainstream these days. Like, it's a joke how much they dominate our lives.
Hold on. Say that again? Too mainstream?
Bro, like all these children are talking about depression and their anxiety or whatever, as if it's some new cool shit. They're all over socials like, oh, look at me, I'm having such a hard time. Why aren't you looking? I said, look at me, or I'm actually gonna end my life.
Yeah, no one does that, mate.
There are literally wars and whatnot going on in the Middle East. But oh, they're the ones suffering because their almond milk just passed its expiry date. So yeah, it's trendy as hell nowadays to want to kill yourself.
True. I can see the appeal of suicide, you know, like you do it once and then you just can't get enough.
Yeah, and you gotta do it a few times to really get the hang of it, don't you?
Like, I get it, you love to play devil's advocate, but you're miles off with this one, I'm sorry. You can't tell me it's not a blessing that people feel comfortable enough to open up. Who cares if it's clogging up your timeline?
100%, man. Like, our parents' generation were taught to keep their mouths shut. Look how that turned out.
Yeah, like, they're messed up.
Like, way worse than us.
Yeah, but at least they don't behave like self-entitled dickheads.
Bro, I didn't just lose my dad to suicide, you know. His brother killed himself a few years afterwards. That shit is basically hereditary in my family.
I thought your uncle had dementia.
Yeah. And then he killed himself.
But did it really happen if he didn't tweet about it?
The thing is though, social media is this generation's outlet. If kids are told to stop tweeting about their worries, then all they'll do is lock it up inside of them, and maybe one day they'll literally explode.
Nah, it's basic. If you're ill, get help. If you're begging for likes, telling everybody you're struggling and that you're going to off yourself, either do it or shut up.
Wow, that's kind of wild still.
Yeah, that's mad. I kind of get what you're saying though. If your timeline was 24/7 just people complaining they feel rubbish, then wouldn't you eventually convince yourself the same? You're probably completely fine, but you'll start thinking it can't be just your mates who are having a shit time.
The more you think about a problem, the bigger it gets, innit?
Nah, that's bullshit. But to go along with your argument, certain accounts create all this noise, like their posts are non-stop, right? Well, I wonder if they plant a seed of doubt around how seriously mental health should be taken. Because over time, these issues just become trivialized when people catch on that it's all being done for clout. Then people with genuine issues get ignored because we're all tired of each other's shit. And bam, it's back to ground zero when no one feels like they can be transparent.
Exactly, man. It's not the people with actual problems that are a joke.
Yeah, it's all the shit posters. The people taking the piss out of mental health, basically.
Okay,